What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Before we get into the TA, there's some stuff that I want to talk about as far as like news-related stuff goes on with XRP. Before we do that, though, I do want to say that here we are at about $2.16, 21 hours, 16 minutes left in the day here on this, the 18th of June. We'll get into the TA in just a second, but before so, I want to just read some stuff real quick. So if that sounds good, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, so SEC opens Franklin Templeton XRP Sol ETF proposals to comments. The Tuesday notices will push the SEC's deadline basically back to late July, though it could be delayed and likely will be delayed to even further. Man, my eyes are burning. This is crazy bright. Retinas beware. Okay, I got to turn my brightness down. I don't think it turns it down for you, but I'm turning mine down. The U.S. Securities and Exchange. By the way, if you're looking at this right now, you're watching this. It's nighttime and you've got nothing else. You're in a dark room. Turn your damn brightness down. It might seem dim at first, but you give it 5 minutes. Your eyes adjust. Your eyes will thank you. Just trust me. After a don't do a lifetime of maximum brightness. Daytime brightness, nighttime brightness. Shift it, okay? Damn. The U.S. Some of you need to hear that more than others. That's not a hard pill to swallow. You'll thank yourself for doing that, okay? The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has opened public comments for two proposed cryptocurrency exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, from asset manager Franklin Templeton to be listed on Chicago Board Options BZX Exchange. In separate filings on Tuesday, the SEC said it was instituting proceedings that could allow the U.S. exchange to list and trade shares of Franklin Templeton XRP ETF and Franklin Solana ETF. The CBOE BZX exchange filed for a proposed rule change with the SEC in March to allow for approval of the investment vehicle. So the CBOE wants this, right, which the regulator delayed in April. They want this, but the SEC is delaying it. Maybe they're delaying it for the right reasons, the wrong reasons. I don't know. I have a theory, right? I think the SEC is on our side now. I mean, the SEC was not on our side before. I know that sounds kind of odd, but I think they're on our side now with the current administration. And I believe, if I'm right in my assumptions, I believe the current administration has a plan for crypto. It's going to be very good, very, very bullish, but it's not now. So they're pushing this deadline back. They're pushing the approval back so that whenever it is approved, it's in like peak alt season, peak growth moments, right? They're not going to want to do it when XRP is being boring, not whenever we're at 6 months of stagnation and we're looking like this. No. They're going to do it probably when we're at highs in price. Now is not the time, right? The institutions need to make their bread too. That's my assumption anyways. But which the regulator delayed in April, pushing it the deadline for a decision until Tuesday. Wasn't it Tuesday today? Or is it Wednesday today? It is Tuesday today. Institution of proceedings does not indicate that the commission has reached any conclusions with respect to any issues involved. I think they'll approve it. It's just a matter of time. That's all it is. Rather, the commission seeks and encourages interested persons to provide comments on the proposed rule change. Okay, so probably, the SEC is like, hey, man, we need you to change some rules here. If we want to approve this, it all looks good, but it's just classic SEC BS in my opinion, but it's bureaucratic stuff. It just needs to happen, right? Let's see. A new day at the SEC under Chair Atkins. I don't know if I just wanted to talk about that real quick. I think that's it, right? Just the SEC is pushing back the ETF deadline. That doesn't mean that it's denied. It just means it's being pushed back, right? This I thought was interesting. Court filing fuels hopes of SEC appeal withdrawal. So the SEC has appealed, right, the court findings with the SEC and XRP and Ripple lawsuit that happened last year, or was it 2 years ago at this point? I can't remember. I want to say it was last year. When was it? Hold on. We can actually look at this. Here. Maybe not on Coinbase. Let me see. Is this right? It was on this. This is when I'm pretty sure that was the spike. So 2023, man, it's like 2 years ago. Wow. Time is flying, man. That's crazy. Okay, hold on. Let's see. SEC versus Ripple case, court filings fuel settlement speculation. So it probably will settle, right? The SEC is on our side now. Uncle Donnie and the boys, they got the right guys in charge there, and it's a crypto. They're trying to get a crypto-friendly approach. Not they don't want the SEC bullies. Court filings in the ongoing SEC versus Ripple case fueled speculation about a settlement and appeal withdrawal. And again, same thing. I think timing is a thing, right? Ripple, the people on the inside, I wouldn't be surprised. The SEC, they know that this is going to get dropped. They know that it's not going to be a thing that hinders XRP or hinders Ripple. But timing. You want to address this stuff in peak alt season, not while we're being boring, but in peak alt season. Okay, that's that to have a maximum effect, right? The people in charge know what they're doing, at least in my opinion. Maybe that's all a conspiracy and I'm just making that up, but we'll see. Show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. That's how the saying goes. Well, wouldn't it be really good news whenever the charts are going up to say that the appeal has been dropped, everything's good, everything's copacetic between Ripple and the SEC. Settlement appeal withdrawal on Tuesday. Fueled speculation about a settlement and appeal withdrawal on Tuesday, June 17th. U.S. Attorney James Fillon shared the latest filing, pushing Judge Torres to grant a favorable indicative ruling on settlement terms. Ripple filed a supplemental letter arguing, in light of the SEC's commitment to provide clear rules of the road for the crypto industry and to chart a new approach to the regulation of crypto assets, Ripple respectively asked the court to acknowledge the parties' negotiated settlement, which could relieve the burdens on both this court's and the Second Circuit's dockets. Yeah. Ripple added, without disturbing the court's without disturbing the court's substantive ruling, substantive. I'm sorry, guys. And while still holding Ripple accountable, the settlement would also place Ripple on a more comparable footing with other industry participants whose cases are dismissed much earlier in their life cycles as a matter of SEC discretion. Sorry I can't read today for whatever reason. Good move, but Ripple certainly did not waste words. Legal cost savings, yeah. They're saying, hey man, we want to put this underway. Whose palms we got to grease to do this? It's gonna happen. There will be uncertainty whether such a sale of XRP to institutional investors is an investment contract. Yeah. That is a significant disadvantage compared to its competitors. Settlement pivotal for XRP spot ETFs in demand. Yes. See, this is probably, again, why they, and this is why I have both these pulled up. This is probably why that got pushed back, right? You need this, before an ETF is approved, you probably need the SEC to drop this appeal, right? This has to happen. Timelines, think about it. When XRP is pumping, what's going to help? You show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. XRP pumps, the insiders know what's going on. We're the insiders, man. We know what's going on. They're going to drop this appeal to the court ruling that that XRP or that Ripple Labs wasn't guilty of like half the things that the SEC accused them of back in basically like 2020 till now. I forget whenever they got sued originally. When was it? Was it back here in 2020? I want to say it was back here in 2020. Maybe it was over here in 2021, but somewhere in that time frame. I forget when they originally got sued, but and then the other half of stuff that they are found innocent of, that's what the SEC is trying to appeal for. Timing. When XRP starts moving up, they're going to need a news event to drive that, right? And the market makers, the people that are in charge, they know this, they're aware of this, right? And that will probably help drive the price up whenever that gets dropped. Next, after the SEC Ripple lawsuit appeal is settled, all this is put behind us, there's nothing else to kick up dust, then you'll get your ETF, right? It's like a storybook, right? And we're just right now we're at the beginning. You've got the middle end, and then the very end, right? The finale phase. And the finale phase will be glorious. I don't know why I have two others charts posted up here, but that's okay. I want to get into technical analysis. I just want to talk about this stuff real quick and give you guys my thoughts on that, but court rulings and ETF news. Yes. I don't think it matters, man. They're saying XRP price outlook. I mean, what? This news didn't matter. This news didn't matter at all. We're moving down because ETF got pushed back. I doubt it. That's not what's happening. No. We're moving down because Bitcoin's moving down, right? We're moving down because Bitcoin's consolidating. Here we are at $2.16. I'm going to turn up the brightness now. We're going to do the TA part, okay? $2.16 now. Looking at the daily time frame. Ooh. Hold on now. Hold up. I don't mind the MACD. I would like it if the histogram didn't grow past this. Whenever you grow, right, it continues to grow, right? Like notice here, you had a growing histogram that was a little bit deeper than this one was, and you continue to grow afterwards, okay? Whenever you decay, you continue to decay until you flip bullish, and we're at the point now where the histogram is, you're decaying. You could definitely flip this bullish, and that could be a really good circumstance to be in if you were, over the next couple of days, to reverse what we did yesterday, right? If we can get back above 225 and not play this little wig-wag game of going up and going down and going up and going down, we kind of have an interesting situation here, right? We've got like a triple bottom on the low side, And I wouldn't call this a triple top, but kind of. It's like you got 3 peaks on the upside, 3 peaks on the downside, 3 peaks on the upside. Something's got to give soon, man. Resistance here, support here. We're basically in a horizontal channel. I don't think that it's bearish, but technically horizontal channels, if you have price going down into them, you would expect price to go down out of them, technically. And if we look at this from a fib perspective, from a low here to a high there, our golden ratio is right down there at about $1.95 to $1.88. Maybe we do go down to these long anticipated targets, but again, that would get rid of this bullish effect that you have on the MACD right now. The stochastics are postured downward. They are postured. Oh, you've got a little confliction there. Same thing with the RSI. It's hard to say. Let's look at the short-term stuff. Maybe it'll help us determine a little bit better. Okay, looking at the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour does have bullish divergence, but we've made that move already. Stochastics have been oversold. MACD has bullish divergence as well. I would think you turn around from here. Let's look at something with some volume on it, okay? I would think that that's what happens. Volume's dying off as you're making your second attempt. I mean, if we were trying to push higher, right, if this chart was flipped around and we were trying to push higher and volume is dying off, I'd be like, we're about to move down. It would be a no-brainer. So yes, I think we're going to move up actually. Today should be a good day. The aspirations that you should have in mind for today is that we eat up yesterday's price action. I want us to eat today, the 18th of June, I want us to eat yesterday's price action whole. Let's eat it whole. Go all the way up, close above this bearish candle. It was a bearish engulfing candle. Let's bullishly engulf this candle. Reverse that, right? Say that we don't care about this negative news with the SEC pushing things back, whatever. I definitely think that we're going to turn things around and then be back into that scenario where now it's not just 3 tops. Now you have a four interactions with this kind of area. I guess not really this area. I guess it doesn't really count, but I would say that the more interactions we have with this area, the more likely we are to break out. And I think this next interaction could break us out. We're looking for a breakout, and if we are to move up, this daily RSI would get back above the 50. You're holding these higher lows, which would look nice. You're getting back above the 50 and maybe making a run to seeing some bullish areas of control in the RSI, which could allow and likely does allow a breakout of the slower range. Okay. So I'm going to stick with that. I think that we do move up. Let's look at the 4 hour time frame just real quick, though, just to validate that. You're at an area to find support on the MACD. Yes, you're building bearish momentum, but your oscillators are right here at the 0. I think you will find support. We'll see. Stochastics are down, but you're in the oversold zone now. You've got room to run up. This is the area that you want to buy. It's not saying that you can't go lower. Maybe you do go lower, but just a little bit lower. I wouldn't expect anything too crazy. Right, we're at 216 now. Just understand the lowest that we could go would be like $1.95 to maybe like $1.88, something like that, right? If we were to go to the lowest we could go. So it's nothing too crazy. But if we were to go lower, that's likely where we'd go. When I say lower, I mean like lower than this low here at $2.08. We could go a little bit lower from here, I suppose. Yeah, if we went down to like $2.11 today, that could happen. But then again, we want to eat yesterday's price action whole. We just want to go all the way up. And I think the stochastics are suggestive that we could see some turnaround here soon. But we might have a little bit lower to go first, get some bullish divergence, and then move up. RSI looks good. Getting overbought's nice. You're actually right at the 40. I mean, man, if you could bounce, if by the time you guys watch this, you're just above the current price and you keep moving up, you don't go below, I think you're actually in a really good place to bounce. But you have to do it here. If not, it's not a big deal. $1.95 to $1.88 becomes a little bit more likely, but nothing crazy. I still don't think that it would happen, but it's possible. It's something to consider. But if you move up from here, like this next hour and 2 minutes going into the rest of the day, if we can continue to move up from here and not move down, I actually think this would be a really good area to bounce on the RSI, on the stochastics. And then, of course, the oscillators here, the blue line and the orange line, they would bounce off the 0 as well on the MACD, validating that this cross is real and that you're moving up. That would just, all that stuff in combination would be really, really good. Daily time frame, kind of neutral, right? Kind of neutral. More bullish than bearish, but kind of neutral. You've got bullish things set up for you. You just got to exact it. You got to do it. So again, back to square one before we got into the shorter term stuff. We need to see, I was about to say we want. No, we need. We need today to close above $2.24. Do that, okay? Definitely don't move up and then move down and give us a wick, okay? Don't do that. If you close lower, it's fine. You could come down, but again, understand if we go down to like $2.10, $2.09, 8 cents, whatever, we come back to this area, we've got a quadruple bottom. There's no such thing as a quadruple bottom. You likely will break through and see $1.95 to $1.88, which again is this overall consolidation phase, or this overall low to high golden ratio. Low to high right there, golden ratio, $1.95 to $1.88, okay? If you don't hold here and you go to this area, it likely won't hold again. There's no such thing as a quadruple bottom. I'm not saying, I mean, anything's possible, but like with a 90% degree of certainty, I would say you would go down to about $1.95 to $1.88, unless you see some kind of fake out and then you reverse back. Other than that, I just don't see a scenario. And even then, still, you'd probably drop down to $2. So avoid that. Just move up today. Okay, move up and ideally close above 224 by the end of the day or more. That's what we want to see. I mean, more than that, 225, 226. The higher, the better. Okay. Again, it's okay if you move down a little bit from here, but I would say at the most, if you want to maintain the bullish idea, the bullish posturing here, and not interact with that quadruple bottom, you don't want to go below $2.11. Hold $2.11. Don't wick below there. Don't close below there, especially. Hold that. Bounce from there. Get prices up and above 225 by the end of the day, and we'll start moving up higher. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin started to move up. If Bitcoin moves up today, XRP would definitely move up as well. And again, there's no such thing as a quadruple bottom. There's no such thing as a quadruple top. We likely would break through this area and continue, not just breaking through this zone, but breaking through this zone and on our way to new all-time highs. I still maintain the idea that as long as we hold here, we don't go lower. I would maintain the idea that we see $3 or more by the end of this month. It's the 18th now. We have a little bit less than 2 weeks to go. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. All right, take care of yourselves.